LinkedIn obviously is the business connections, and even if you're out and about at a networking event, it's often people will maybe find out people's names, obviously in businesses, and then later on maybe come onto LinkedIn and go through the process. But on LinkedIn, there is actually a really simple way to create your own little, what we call URL, or your own link straight to your profile page. Because when you go onto LinkedIn, if you share your profile page initially, you'll come up with a kind of LinkedIn and then a kind of slash and some numbers and letters perhaps. So sometimes to share that is going to look a bit anonymous. So like if you put that on maybe like a business card or adding it to your email or something like that. But what we're going to do today is just quickly go through how to make that little URL that you could print out somewhere, or it could go on paperwork, and it's a quick way for people to find you as well.
That sounds great. This is something I didn't know about, Sandra, so I'm looking forward to having that, putting that on my email signature. Yes. It's going to be great, yes.
Yeah, and it's a good way, and it creates the link in that. So, okay, so what I'll do is I'll share the screen.
That'd be great, yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. I'll get the screen ready over here for everybody who's watching live and in the library. Yeah, so that's changing. Great.
And you should be able to see my LinkedIn page when it comes up.
And let me just get you full screen over here for everyone to see. Yeah, so I've got your webpage here, and I can see us.
Oh,
yeah. And have you got us paused in the live stream window, Sandra, just to make sure?
That is a good plan.
For your, just to get the. Oh, I can see myself on the screen. Fantastic. Lovely, we're paused.
Yeah, just making sure that that's in the right place. So can you now see we're right into my homepage on LinkedIn?
I can see that. I can see your picture, I can see your name, and yeah. So this is you logged in as you, or?
That's right. Yeah. Yes. So this is the desktop view. So obviously the using on your phone may be slightly different, but this is what you can do from your desktop. Okay. Mm-hmm. So first of all, if you click on your profile, which you're just clicking on your name, it'll come up with obviously your name that you've put in there and the details about yourself, and you can see all the little edit signs.
Oh yeah, it's like a little pencil or something. You just click on that and you can change your name, I guess, if you want to. Or
or your work history, or your title. So basically this is what people are seeing obviously when they come to connect with you. Now down here, I'm going to just zoom in. Not into my picture, but I'm just going to zoom in here.
Oh, that's great. No, that's good. We can see. Oh, and I can see the link. Yes.
You see the link there. So you've got LinkedIn that's got .com and then /in and /, and I've got Sandra online events. Okay, so which is pretty cool to have it. It's just not just numbers and letters kind of thing.
Yeah, because if you get one of those difficult URLs, as you say, if you put that on your business card, that's hard for someone to type in, isn't it?
Yeah. Because they're not going to take the card and kind of link it with it. If it's written, have to be manually put in. You're right. Okay. So what you want to do to update that is, so first of all, so you go to your home and then you click on your name, which brings up your profile page. And then there's a tiny little clog right next to what you'll see here is your kind of LinkedIn and then your kind of long URL. And you just click on that clog there. Going to bring up here. Now, this gives you all the details of updating your profile. Okay, so if you've been in here recently, you'll know how to do that. If you've not been for a little while, there might be some things you might want to update there. So once you've clicked on that clog, on the right-hand side, it's got your public profile URL, and this is exactly what we're looking for. So you have to go to the right-hand side on your desktop. And again, it's got the little symbol that you can edit, so you just click there. And you see it comes up with a space to type in.
Yes, so you could change that URL as well.
Yeah. So it's not something that if you pick it, you choose, right, that's what I'm going to pick, and then it just is there forever, if you know what I mean. It can be adjusted, yeah. So basically you just click on the edit and then you can just type and you can do it however you want.
Ah, yeah, so you could give a capital O on online events.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done that properly. If I've not done that before, I mean. And then you just click save and see how it changes here.
Fantastic, that looks great. And so you could pop in different things, like if you wanted to put in get social with Saz or something like that, yeah?
That's right, yeah. If there was something particular, perhaps round about that time that you're maybe getting involved in, you could kind of update it periodically to change it from there. But that it links in with your previous numbers, if you know what I mean. So people will always be able to click on it, no matter what you're updating, because it'll still be with your name. But it just gives you that. It's so that when you lift this link from LinkedIn to other places, it then gives you something, if you just say to people, I'm just in./ and then tell them what your name is, what to put in, then it's easy for people to find, or if it's written down, it makes it easy.
Yeah, that sounds great, Sandra. Yeah.
Then it just gives you a kind of a note, so there's always a kind of limit to what you can put in, so it's containing about 5 to 30 letters and numbers. You can't put any spaces or characters in there, but because it's normally just going to be your name or your business, then it's something can be quite straightforward, and then you just click save.
And I guess if you just put Sandra in there, there's a chance that there's another Sandra who's already got that URL, is that right? Or what would...
Yeah.
So it says Sandra's not available, or if it was John, there's probably one or two Johns on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you're right. So then it gives you other options. So effectively, it's like perhaps when people are picking their other social media, profiles. If you're going to Twitter, sometimes you have to put maybe a number after your name. But you're right, it will kind of tell you whether it will or won't allow it. But I don't think there's another Sandra online event, which is handy.
Yes, there probably is one of you, Sandra.
One of me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that just gives you that custom the URL there. You can then, once that's kind of saved in there, then gives you the option to hover over. So I'll just do it like this, effectively. Just like anything, any link.
Yeah.
And then you can just copy that.
Okay.
And then what is advisable to do, if you haven't already done it before, is to put your social media links in your email sign-off. So if you've got hundreds of social media links, you don't need to put them all because, necessarily. But, maybe the main ones, like I've got the LinkedIn and Facebook, link to our Facebook page and my Twitter. Yeah. Okay.
So those are your 3 main social media accounts. And what do you mean by your sign-off? Can you describe that, Sandra? Yeah.
At the bottom of your email, you can put in that'll come up on every email that you create, your name and perhaps your business underneath your name. Yeah. Now, say for example, Google Mail, if you go into your settings, and then it'll give you the option to add that sign off. So it gives you a little box and you can add that. And that's where every time you create an email, then this kind of your name will come up. So you can go into that little box. On other email providers, it'll have that in settings as well.
Right. So as you start to write your email, all your emails would have like kind regards, Sandra Wilson, online events, and then Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn links.
That's right.
Oh, great. Right. That's great. Yeah.
And it's not because there's going to be like hundreds and hundreds of people that you're sending emails out, you have it there. But if somebody's corresponding with you, then it might be, you might say, just drop me a link, the link is below, you can just drop me a direct message on Twitter, or if somebody's having a look, they're like, oh, I don't follow them on Facebook, I must have a wee look, or, oh, I didn't know they were on Twitter, that's great, so it's just another opportunity to create that contact. And that is an ideal place to use this for your LinkedIn as well. And on other places, so it can be on some of if you're putting out things on social media like an image, a quote image perhaps. Some people put their website, well, you could put your LinkedIn URL on it, or if you're going to networking events and you're printing out business cards, then pop the LinkedIn URL on it, and then people can find you that way as well. So it just makes it easier, for you to be contactable, and it makes it feel that you kind of got something that you can give, and not just numbers. If you get me on the numbers, I probably would never give out something, just with numbers on it, because it's not personal.
Like, as you say, the link just normally will be linkedin.com, whatever it is, /19:0. I mean, it's just
like a code.
Yeah. But of course, if you pop that in a card and someone says, "Oh, I just need to type Sandra online events," you'll pop up on LinkedIn and they can make that connection with you. Fantastic.
Right away. Yeah. And then if you're putting it in other places like your email, then it's clickable right away.
Of course, that's right. So people can instantly recognize the LinkedIn address and get straight through.
Yeah. It would just, as soon as they click on that, it'll just come straight to your profile page, and it just gives that real quick process. And that was something when I was going through learning, like, what's the best way to learn LinkedIn? It was one of the first things that I looked into, that was advised to me, right, get your URL set up, and then when you're sharing it, then it becomes a lot easier. So I would suggest, if anybody's on LinkedIn, just to go in and get that set up.
Well, I think I've found LinkedIn not an easy place to learn, and I'm still not using it that well. And other colleagues have said that to me too. It's like, oh, I'm just not sure about that environment, but this is a good place to start, I guess, and make those connections.
Yeah, definitely. And because kind of if you feel like, right, I've got that, right, it's set up properly, properly is one thing, and that I feel like, right, I've kind of got a little bit of a setup there, so I can then go ahead and do something else. So, and what we'll do is, when we're looking at LinkedIn, we'll just show a little bit, at a time to do on LinkedIn. And because I think it's great just to take it at small parts and maybe go into it, if you're just learning it, take it bit by bit. And that's what we want to do, isn't it? Just take a little bit, update a little bit, and then enjoy what you've updated, and not be overburdened, with either I don't know what I've done, or I've made too many changes, or, just enjoy that and think, hey, that was great for this week, and next week I'll do something else in it, kind of thing.
Sounds ideal. And a great invitation. If anybody's watching this on the site, or you're picking up the recording, why don't you grab the link and then make contact with Sandra and I, maybe get into the Online Events Facebook group, share your link in there, and maybe other colleagues will link up with you. And as you say, we'll be back over the weeks to come, and you'll be showing us other things to do, but why not start here? Great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll put our links in on the Facebook page. That's a good idea, and it's just a great way, as you say, just to share and be in contact.
Fantastic, Sandra. That's a great tutorial. I think it's a fantastic bite-sized chunk to go with. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to pop my link in the Facebook group. Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Something that can be manageable, and updated and be used. Like if you're then maybe going networking later, in the coming weeks or months, and maybe some people think, oh, how did you get your own link for LinkedIn? And it becomes a little bit of a talking point as well. So.
Fantastic.
That would be very useful.
Great tutorial, Sandra. Thank you for that.